This match was released first for our members on YouTube and Patreon. Becoming a member is the only way to watch all Purpose Wrestling shows presented in full. Thank you to all these YouTube and Patreon members who help us bring Purpose Wrestling to you. To support Purpose Wrestling, become a member at purposewrestling.com/members. Link in the description. Purpose Wrestling, for the love of wrestling.
Match of the Powerhouse is coming up, Francisco. Big Wavy looking to bounce back after some unfortunate luck. Teaming with the 8-7, things aren't going so well. Looking to break out on his own one more time, but has a challenge in the form of the Villainess. And you know all about how much of a challenge the Villainess is, David.
The following contest is a singles match. Introducing first, representing the 8-7, this is Big Wavy, Roy Johnson!
What do you mean?
I mean, she rolled you up in a hell of a small package.
Why are you bringing that up like I'm embarrassed of that? Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing bad about losing to Skye Smitson. In fact, she's one of the top wrestlers that we have in the country.
I'm not saying it's
I am honored.
I'm just saying it's your one little blip for the year.
Listen, nobody's perfect. I'm not expecting myself to be perfect, right? I think she's great, and that only shows how much of a challenge it's going to be for Roy Johnson in this match. As you said, Roy is not in the best of places lately. Obviously, I feel like he hasn't really publicly spoken about it, but I think his actions, we can definitely conclude that Big Wavy personally takes the loss in that street fight. Well, seriously, personally, he was the one who made the challenge. He ended up losing that match. He dropped the 8-7 armband. Everything bad, and he really didn't feel like he was himself, and Levi was able to capitalize on that. Maybe this is the big refresher he needs, just a good competitive match against a top wrestler that can match him in strength and power, and he'll be able to leave this behind and going to 2025 in a new leaf.
Former #1 contender stands in his way though. As you said, Roy Johnson looking to turn over a new leaf. Skye Smitson hasn't really bounced back since she was #1 contender. Smitson come up short against former champion Michael Oku in the title match. Pulled out another singles win en route against Maya Matthews. We haven't seen the role that Smitson was on before that title match. Back yet.
Maybe it was a good thing for Skye to do what she's done, which is take a little break, take a little step back, and then come back and rebuild, right? As you know, I know a lot about rebuilding. I've been doing that for a year now. But there's other people, like maybe another example of that is Connor Mills, for example. Right? When it was time for him to take a step back from Purpose and go outside and discover himself, he came back a bigger, taller... What happened? What the hell just happened, Bobby?
Smitson's leather coat took out Oscar Harding.
Listen, that's how strong she is. That those powerful legs and torso is able to take that jacket like it's nothing, whereas someone else like Oscar, who is not weak, he can't handle it. Smitson Jackson is a little bit like Thor's hammer.
Is it really? Only those who are worthy can carry it.
Yeah, exactly. And clearly Oscar Harding is not worthy. Oscar. Oh man, my brain just fried there for a second. But yeah,
I feel like it's the opposite of Thor's hammer though. Like you have to be a little bit cheeky, a little bit snide, a little bit of a villain, and then you can carry the jacket. Maybe Oscar's just too much of a good boy.
That is true. He's a very senior referee, part of the booking committee as well, along with you.
And Christopher
Hatch. Yeah, who almost got punched in the face earlier today.
It's not a good day for the booking. I'm staying back here.
Gonna nowhere. Yeah, you stay back here, because you're next. Right. The audience understands how fun this matchup is. I believe it's a first-time matchup, and when you think about it, when you see it on paper, especially when it was announced, the reaction to it was great. Like, it was incredible. People are very excited about this this confrontation here.
People were wondering if it was going to be a wrestling match or a flex-off, though.
Both, right? Roy Johnson has the power advantage and the size advantage. I think Skye knows that. We can see Skye be more agile. She'll probably have the technical advantage as well.
And the thing you've got to watch out for is, despite the fact she is loved in the library, Skye will take the low road. She's not bothered.
Oh yeah,
she's the villainess for a reason.
Yeah, and the people love her for it. There seems to be a little bit of a double standard here. I don't want to make this about me. Let's go. Look at that lockup. Let's go.
And despite the fact that Big Wavy will have a distinct power advantage over Smitson, don't take Smitson's power game out of this. If she gets the leverage, right, she's throwing Roy Johnson across this ring.
Her she'll be easier for her to get a center of gravity underneath Roy, and that may be an advantage for us. But when it comes to pure strength matchups, like the ones you can see here right now, Roy's going to have the advantage. That lockup, Roy didn't budge as much as you could see Skye really pushing and trying to get some sort of psychological advantage. You're not going to win a match in a lockup, but you can win the match mentally before you win the match physically, and that's part of it. Look at it.
There is no doubt, pure power, Roy Johnson is the strongest person on the Purpose roster in terms of pure power. But there's that technique that you said, the technical advantage of Skye Smitson. There it is.
Some RJ Singh tactics right here.
Hey, there's more in common with RJ Singh and the villainess than I think she'd like to admit, but sometimes going low is the way forward. Skye Smitson making her feelings very clear. And Roy Johnson scaring the hell out of Smitson with just a big flex.
I don't know if he's trying to scare or impress, but I don't think he's going to be able to do either. Skye Smitson is very unimpressionable when it comes to professional wrestling.
Drop kicks in the stomach.
It was high, it was powerful, she's posing, but she didn't realize that Roy Johnson is not down.
That drop kick's beautiful. One of the best drop kicks in the country, if you ask me, David.
I think she just realized it.
Johnson going to use that power advantage, sends Smitson off, goes low. And Johnson, we question his technical ability. Here we go.
All right.
Look at the athleticism of Johnson and a drop kick on the money of his own. Johnson been putting some time in, going on the high lows.
He's always been very explosive. You've seen with things like that close in the corner we just seen, or the forearm that hits the back of the neck. At some times when their opponent's sitting down, he uses full explosion. Those hips and legs as weapons, and Skye Smitson is
in the cover. This can be done. Spine is a delicate thing. Skye managing to find the strength to kick out, but holding her lower back immediately.
Listen, Bobby, when you get pinned, when you get covered, if someone knows how to apply a good technique of it, you will have an entire weight of someone like on your shoulder blades, making it hard for you to move. When that someone is Roy Johnson, that not only is heavy, but also is able to push down on you, kicking out is very hard.
The heart of the villainess on display. Johnson trying to stay on top of it, although the cheers for the villainess, not something Johnson's used to coming up against. Purpose fans usually solidly behind Big Wavy and the 8-7.
Roy Johnson doing the right thing here, waiting for Skye Smitson to get up, doesn't want to attack an opponent when they're down, waiting for Skye to get to her knees, which is very much a enforced rule when it comes to what's the term?
Mountbatten.
Yeah, there you go, the Mountbatten rules. The traditional English rules, and Roy is abiding to that in a way just showing respect to his opponent, waiting for Skye Smitson to be in a position where she can defend herself, not attacking Skye Smitson while Smitson's down.
This is another thing we didn't speak about. There will be some respect between these two, grudging maybe, but they will respect each other for what each other have done in the industry.
100%.
And the stalling suplex by Johnson.
Even Smitson being cheeky is a show of respect. She takes Roy Johnson seriously, and look at this. Normally Skye Smitson is the one that gets these suplexes, but not this time. She's feeling it on the other side, and you can see the effect he had on her body.
Into the cover. Counter 2 for Roy Johnson. I think you still hold the record, David. 32 seconds.
What can I say? I'll try to beat the record next time. I can hold Alex up. Definitely gonna hold Nino up.
Here comes Johnson stretching out Smitson. Notice the wrist under the jaw, David, not allowing Smitson to move her head.
Very interesting game plan by Roy Johnson here. Slow, methodic, and powerful. Putting all the power into the moves that he's been able to apply, while at the same time making sure he doesn't get tired, he doesn't get breathing heavy, keeping the match slow, which is to his advantage because he can just explode when he needs to.
That's the thing, Roy Johnson keeps that athleticism in his back pocket. There it is. So what we said, he slows down the match. Smitson is expecting Johnson to keep it at this pace, and out of nowhere, Johnson explodes. And you see it mostly with the pounds into the cover. Count of just about 1.5 for Johnson.
You have to keep that machine going for when it's ready, as opposed to using it all the time. That's what the kind of wrestler Roy Johnson is. And it's been very something that's been working for him very well. he won't just keep on going. He doesn't wrestle like, for example, a cruiserweight. And he knows how to save his energy to when he really needs to explode with it. Like with the backbreakers or the suplex we've seen. Or maybe with whatever's about to happen to Skye after that slap.
Knee to the chest. Smitson with a rebound clothesline. Johnson just absorbs it. And I was thinking more about what he said Kieron down the ramp with that pounce. That was really
that was
running knee
God.
by Smitson. Johnson could be out.
That was on the button.
Johnson's out. No, I think Johnson came to about a split second before that 3 count.
You saw the way that Roy Johnson went down. He completely turned off.
Didn't move a muscle for about 2.5 seconds.
So hard to try and get up someone like Roy Johnson.
Smitson loading him up. Look at the Smitson effect. Johnson fighting it. Gonna roll Smitson through with a snapmare.
And there it is.
Staple Roy Johnson. That running forearm, leaping forearm into the cover. Smitson out at 2. These two just hitting each other with as bigger shots as possible and then trying to get the cover. Good tactic in a match like this when you don't know what your opponent's about to hit you with next.
Wow.
Neck breaker by Johnson. Again, straight into the cover, trying to keep the villainous down. Knows that if he leaves a window, the villainous could explode at any moment. Hit him with that Smitson effect, hit him with the high knee.
Johnson is one step slower than he normally is. He's probably still feeling the effects of that knee that we saw that was super hard and completely shut him down. And the covers are not with the technique as effective as they were before. And that may have been to Smith's advantage. Although Johnson continues to be on top. Maybe he comes to pounce, Bobby.
The pound!
He got it!
Sends Smitson across the ring. Smitson landed high on the back of her neck. Shoulders and head ricocheted off the mat.
Johnson not being able to completely capitalize. You can see it on his face and the way he's moving. He's still feeling the effects of that knee. What is he thinking about now? Oh, that's what he's thinking about. Thanks for telling me, Roy.
Looking to finish this match. Going to load up Smitson. Look for a power slam.
That big getting he uses a lot.
Smitson out of the way. Avoids the clothesline. Comes running in. Gets sent to the outside. Johnson using that power one more time. Smitson mouthing off this time. Enziguri.
There it is. If Smitson's going to win, this is the kind of thing she needs to do. Bring the speed up, use her agility, and maybe even go to the top rope. Look at this.
Off the top. Johnson sees it coming. European uppercut. Cuts her off at the pass.
This is very dangerous for Skye Smitson. I don't know if she wants to be there.
Smitson changing tactic from her usual play.
What is Roy Johnson thinking,
it could cost her dearly. Johnson now, looking for a superplex. Smitson fights back, gut shots, the right hands, slips through.
Oh, look at this. Wait a minute. Look at the power of the villainous.
Center of the ring, sends the big man down. Johnson was not expecting that. Spine off the mat. Rebounds. Lariat. Turns Johnson inside out, straight into the cover.
She's got him, Bobby.
Kick out just at the last second by Johnson. Smitson stays on top of him though. Big wavy. Finds the Smitson effect into the cover. This one has got to be done. Your winner, the villainous, dug down deep.
Here is your winner, Skye Smitson.
Sometimes, Bobby, you have to take a risk to be able to capitalize on it, especially when the match gets as deep as it did between these two. Skye Smitson took a risk on that powerbomb. It paid off, and she was able to fully follow through and capitalize. The lariat wasn't enough, but the Smitson effect was the villainous building herself back to the top of the mountain here at Purpose Wrestling. It's great to have her back, and I am very excited about the future of Skye Smitson. And I wonder what's going to be with the future of Roy Johnson.
Everyone in the title picture better be watching out for the villainous. Big wavy. Needs to rebuild, but he's just stuck in the foundations.
All right, you can see that he's still not fully 100%, still feeling the effects of everything that's been happening. I wonder how he's feeling right now. Look at the face. Purpose Faithful here, giving him some energy, letting him know that there's more to it than the current bad tide that he's been hitting with.
Johnson, a fan favourite since the early days of Purpose Wrestling. Been here since nearly day one.
I honestly feel, look at that, I feel like it's starting to get to him, Bobby. You can tell, it's all in the eyes, it's always in the eyes. Even though he has a big wave of support here, you get it?
Hey.
I think that it's starting to get to him, Bobby, you can tell.
Roy, that was a great effort, son. But unfortunately, Big Wavy was nothing for Big Sexy Smitson. You see, I think everyone forgets what the villainess means. I get it, I come out here, I shake my hips, I have a little fun, but people forget I'm a legitimately trained boxer. I can take punishment with the best of them. And just when you least expect it, boom, you get hit with a Smitson effect. Now I've proved myself in singles competition. Who knows what's next? Maybe it's tag team competition, because I have a tag team partner that would fit the bill, you would say. But that's for the future. That's for 2025. And who knows? Maybe I'll end up with a title. Maybe it'll be tag. Maybe it'll be singles. But all I know is man, woman, anything in between, any way you want to identify, step up, get slapped back down. All hail the villainous.
It's three now. Three in a row. 3 losses in a Purpose Wrestling ring. I thought it was because of the 8-7 and tried to go it alone. Lost to Levi, lost to Skye tonight. I can't even say that Skye played dirty because she won fair and square. And once again, I'm gonna go home and regroup and think, strategize what I'm gonna do next in Purpose, because
Thank you for watching Purpose Wrestling. Don't miss any of the great pro wrestling action live in Wimbledon. Join us at the Merton Art Space. All details for tickets in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to the Purpose Wrestling YouTube channel for more great matches. Thank you for watching and see you next time.